What is a good protein powder and what is trash? What should you buy? How should you read the labels? Let's dive in. A lot of the times we would buy something without reading the label. It says all of the fancy things on the front, like it's high protein and it's good for you, good for heart, high fiber, natural, organic, triple organic. And we buy this thinking like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm drinking my protein. I'm, fulfilling my protein goal for the day. But if you don't track your calories throughout the day, and if you don't realize how much is actually coming from that jar, and whether it is getting you closer to your goal, you might be shocked that a lot of proteins actually are less protein than they promise on the front. So I have some examples here. I have some brand protein. I have pure proteins from nuts. So we're just going to compare these and see what we should buy. All right, so first and foremost, let me look at this jar of protein. I don't care showing you the brand because it doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you the framework for tracking and checking any protein on the market within like 1 minute and seeing whether it's worth buying, okay? This protein is soy protein isolate, cocoa powder, alkalized, some vitamins, some sucralose sweetener. That's basically it. Yeah, very, very good ingredients. And what I care about is how many grams of protein, fat, and carbs are per serving. Let's find this out. One portion is 15 grams. Also, I know you Americans like ounces. I'm going to calculate in grams for the convenience, because in 1 gram of protein and carbs, we have 4 calories, and in 1 gram of fats, we have 9 calories. So let's just convert everything to grams, okay, and use unified measuring system. You can do your ounces, when you measure your shots or whatever. First, servings may be different in all brands. Some servings are 30 grams, some servings are 35, some servings are 45 or 60. It doesn't matter. What I love is in Europe, all brands are required to put their percent, protein, carbs, and fats per 100 grams. So you can immediately just multiply that by 4 or by 9 and see the percentage of whatever the macronutrient in your product. In this serving of 15 grams, we have 12 grams of protein. And this is also really sneaky. In the US, they do this, they do the percent daily value that just tricks people into weird mental gymnastics loopholes. And here they put some 16% in the brackets with 2 stars. Don't look at anything except for grams, okay? How many grams per serving? 15 grams, okay, great. How many protein grams per serving? 12. So let's take 12 grams and multiply that by 4. That means we have 48 calories from protein. And we're going to divide that by the calories of 1 serving. Now, the calories of 1 serving is 51.3 calories. So I'm going to divide my 48 calories from protein by 51.3 calories. And I'm going to get 93.5% protein. So this blend that is mainly just soy isolate has a high protein concentration. Amazing, wonderful, that's what I want. I want for it to not taste like crap, and I want for you to have, well, ideally over 90% protein, but I would say if your protein has less than 75%, just don't fucking buy it. It's not protein, it's some other crap in there. Just don't buy it. Fats, it has 0.1 gram. Great, almost no fats. I like to eat my fats. I really hate to drink my fats. I feel like you can commiserate with me in the comments. And it has 0.8 grams of carbs. Now, a lot of the times, American producers would separate fiber from carbs, and yet technically it has 2 grams per serving, I guess, because they're soluble in soluble fiber. I'm not going to go down the fiber rabbit hole with you, okay? I enjoy when producers include my fiber into carbs. And I don't care if I'm over calculating it by multiplying it by 4 instead of by 2. So anyways, I don't care, like, ever splitting net carbs and fiber from carbs. If a brand is doing this on the packaging, you should be wondering, why are they doing this? What are they hiding? Are they trying to seem that the protein is less carbs than it actually is? Probably. The answer is probably. So just simple. Protein, fats, carbs. That's it. That's all you want. Everything else you can just add into carbs in terms of grams and times it by 4, okay? If they split it. Don't play their game. So, good protein. I like it. Creamy texture. I like it. And since it is such high percent of protein, I want some more micronutrients in my protein mix. So I bought these 3 nut isolates. And we are going to look at the protein amount in each individual one of those. And I'm going to add a little bit, maybe like 25% of my protein shake is going to be a mix of those just for micronutrients. I've always done it this way. Really, really great trick. Your best bang for the buck is soy isolate, pea isolate, or brown rice isolate that all have almost 1 PDCAA score, or you can look it up. It's the digestibility score of protein. Soy has the highest, and then the mix of rice and pea, half and half, has almost 1 digestibility score from vegan proteins, as close to whey as possible. So if it's over 90%, great, wonderful. And your protein can come from any 3 of those, and then you can just decorate maybe 25% of it with some micronutrients from other fun stuff, such as flavorings and nut proteins. So let's look at the nut proteins. And here's the reason why I don't take them as my only protein, right? Why I don't replace my soy or pea or brown rice protein with the nut proteins. Here is why. You're going to be very surprised. So this basically defatted peanut butter in powder form. In 1 serving, I have 50 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, and 15 grams of carbs. You see how the proportion is a lot more than here? It's strikingly more, okay? And per 1 serving, the calories are 332. Great. I'm going to multiply my 50 grams of protein by 4 and divide that by 332. And I'm going to get 60% protein. This is a high-fat product. And a lot of the times when people look at the label, they're like, oh, it's only 8 grams of fat. 50 grams of protein, that's way more, right? And 15 grams of carbs, that's way more. But fats have more than double the calories, right? So yeah, it's 60% protein, but if I multiply 8 by 9 and divide that by 332, that's 22% fat. It's not high carb, it's kind of high protein, right? It's 60%, but it's also high fat. I would label anything that's over 20% fat as a high fat product. And that is why it is going to be, I would say, difficult for you to get enough protein if you drink something like this. And a lot of protein producers, they would try to make their protein blends more tasty by adding, various things such as cheap peanut protein. They would add a lot of the times palm oil or some kind of other oils. They would add emulsifiers and make sure the protein blends really nice and smooth. And there's no issue in adding things that don't harm the macronutrient split. If it decreases the percent protein by calorie, then it's just not worth buying. You can, for the same money and for better health, you can just buy peanut protein and use peanut protein. But anyways, peanuts have a lot of leucine and lysine, the missing amino acids in like seitan, for example. So that's the reason why I like to add a little bit to my main protein mix. Let's look at pumpkin seed protein. Great protein. I think Sun Warrior has a lot of pumpkin seed protein. I've also seen like Sprouts and different co-op shop brands that are based on pumpkin protein. Not as high PDCAA score, but again, if you just include that with your main protein, great micronutrients and diversifying your protein portfolio throughout the day if you wish. And this one has 69 grams of protein, 8 grams of fats, 9 grams of carbs. So as much fat as the peanut, but less carbs. Very interesting. And 69 is pretty killer for a nut and seed protein isolate. So 69 times 4 calories and divided by 375 calories per serving, we get 74% protein. You could probably get away with drinking this by itself as your, protein shake, mixing that with water or soy milk. But I wouldn't do that. I would still base my main protein on pea or soy or brown rice isolates and only add those on top. Also, if you've had any of those seed proteins, they're just so rough to drink. It's very hard to get the texture to not be like super rigid. Again, maybe different producers can fix this problem, but I haven't really found like any other seed protein that is not difficult to drink. I can only add like a tablespoon of that to my main mix and already feel the texture change. If I was only drinking that with soy milk, like it would be hard to get down. Peanut protein is different. It's really creamy, it's really tasty, it's really nice, but I would only include that on top. I would not drink that alone. And then the last one here, I have sunflower seed protein. That one is pretty killer. It has 82 grams of protein, 1.1 gram of fats, and 5.4 grams of carbs. So this one is pretty killer, 359 calories per serving. So this one is 91% protein by calorie. I could drink this alone, no problem, calorie-wise, macronutrient-wise, but again, texture, very difficult. So you can create your custom protein blend out of your favorite protein profile split of proteins. There are no rules. I would say the only rule is that you like it. It actually increases the protein amount in your daily nutrition rather than, adding per 30 grams of protein, adding like 15 grams of carbs and 10 grams of fats. I've seen proteins like that on the market, and I don't know what these products are for. Some of them call them gainers, so gainers are just stupid. Why don't you just add a spoonful of peanut butter and a banana and some dates into your isolate? Why waste money on a gainer? A gainer is just protein with extra fats and sugar. It's so stupid. Like, I don't understand why people still buy those products. I would build my main protein, and there's an article in the description that you can read how I mix my personal protein, but I would base it on either soy, but if you already eat a lot of soy during the day, you can just do half and half split of brown rice and pea protein isolates, make sure they're isolates, and then add either sucralose or monk fruit or stevia and some tasty flavorings, cocoa powder, defatted peanut powder, and some pumpkin seed, hemp seed, other seed proteins. I also really like Sacha inchi protein. I found it on nuts.com. It has relatively high protein. It's claimed to be from some ancient grain, kind of like quinoa, or I guess it's a seed, not grain technically, but it's really hard to find where I live now. So if you can get your hands on that, very, very smooth, nice texture, very close to pea protein, and it is a little sweeter in flavor. So yeah, you can get my personal protein mix in the description in the blog post, where I explain what proportions I mix and why and where to get all those things. And yeah, comment your favorite protein brand and let me know how much protein it gets percent-wise, right? Just take the protein grams per serving times 4 and divide that by amount of calories per serving. And let me know if that amount shocked you, because a lot of the time my clients would send me their proteins and I'd be like, that's not a protein. That's a fat carb drink. Anyways, let me know if this video was useful, and I'm happy to break down any other products or brands or teach you some other nutrition basics if that's what you're looking for. So I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching. This was Katya, Vegan Powerlifter. Bye.